Hey guys, Chris here. Today we're going to be setting up my 20-gallon brackish tank. And it's been a while. I had to tear all my tanks down because I had some pests in my apartment and they had to be treated. So all my fish had to go into buckets, all the tanks had to come out, stands had to go out. It's been a big pain. I've lost quite a few fish along the way. But today we're going to start rebuilding the tanks. So this is a 20 long. It's the 20 long that I was using as a quarantine. And we're just going to pretty much put the figure eight puffer and the Bumblebee Gobies in there, and from there we're gonna decorate it with some dragonstone, some fake plants, stuff like that, and try to get it looking, you know, pretty nice. Might put some clay pots in for the gobies. I've read that they tend to like that, but let's just get to it. Alright, so for decoration, like I said, we got some dragonstone. I went to PetSmart and got some of this Exotica dragonstone. I've never seen it before. They started carrying that brand after I stopped working there, but it looks to be pretty decent sized pieces. I got 10 pounds for like 32 bucks or 35 bucks, something like that. And considering you can't find it around here, like anywhere else, that's not a terrible price once you consider an online shipping cost. So I'm gonna give it a try, see how I like it. And then I also picked up a variety of just fake silk plants. They're not amazing. They're the PetSmart Top Fin brand. They get filthy, but they're better than nothing, and I've already tried live plants in brackish water and it just didn't go well. Eventually I'd like to give that another try, but right now I just need something that works to get all the tanks back up. So for now we're just going to be washing plants, washing rock, and trying to get this tank up and as quickly as possible, really. So let's get to it. Alright, another phone video. Sorry about the quality, but it started running clear after about 3 or 4 rinses, so that's what we're going to do. As you can see from all the steam, I actually use pretty much as hot of water as I could get, and it's got some decent color on it. I'm not super impressed with the like sizes and everything. They're kind of small, but I mean, it is a PetSmart brand, and it wasn't that expensive, so you know, you get what you pay for. I'm sure it'll do the job for me, but let's see if we can get it into the tank and see what we can do as far as escaping goes. Alright, so that took me like all of 2 minutes. It's not a great scape, but I kind of like it. I mean, it's got some depth to it. It's kind of takes up the entire tank. We'll see. I mean, I usually like to play around with my scapes anyway over time, so I might keep it this way for years. I might change it up tomorrow. Who knows? But for now, this is what we're going to go with for our scape. Alright, so I've got the tank filled. It's a murky mess, but I kind of expected that. The substrate's been used before, and it's play sand, so it's super fine. And then the rocks were not completely clean, right? You're never going to get them completely clean, so it's going to be a mess for a while, but it'll clear up. But I'm going to go ahead and treat it, so I'm using Seachem Prime here. And it's a 20-gallon tank, so we're going to need roughly 2 milliliters, I believe, because it's 1 milliliter per 10 gallons. But my preferred method is just kind of to fill up the cap a little bit. Knowing that the cap is like 5 milliliters to the top, I believe, 5 or 10. I had it memorized at one point. I believe it's like 5 milliliters, but we're just going to do like roughly half a cap full with a little bit more to spare. Pour that in there and bam. You can measure it out, and that'll keep you from wasting any. You can do that. I'm a little bit too lazy, and this has always worked for me. And you're not going to overdose unless you're adding like 10, 20, 30 times the amount that you need. And then this is also supposed to be a brackish tank, so we need to mix it to like 1.004 specific gravity, which is not very much salt at all, but you know, it is some. So I just haven't added any salt to the tank yet. So I took a little bit into a pitcher. I'm going to go get my salt bucket and just mix the required amount of salt into this pitcher, since I don't need that much. Pour it in there and let it mix, and that's going to be how I do that. Alright, we're back on my phone again with the potato quality because my tripod wasn't wanting to stand up for me, but I got onto hamsesreef.com and figured out that for this entire 20-gallon tank, to mix it to where I want it to be, I'm going to need about 1 1/4 cups of salt. And this little thing here is about a cup. It's an old measuring cup I had that broke. So I'm going to take and fill it up about level once. That's pretty close. Dump it into our pitcher. And then do another quarter, or get pretty close to it. And that's pretty close again. Add it in there. And that's going to be that. Now I'm going to have to mix that, probably add some water, mix again, so on and so on. But that's all you need to do. And the great thing about brackish fish is that you don't have to be exact with your measurements when it comes to salt. They're very adaptable. And realistically, as long as you've got some salt in there and not a ton, like you're not doing like triple, quadruple the amount for long periods of time, they're going to do just fine. So super easy. That's how I do this. I'm super lazy about it, but it works. So let's get this mixed in there, and then we're going to see if we can't move the fish over. Okay, so I've got it kind of mixed in here. I can tell it's not actually mixed. It's just suspended in the water. So what we're going to do, we're going to pour about half of it out. Roughly half. Get some new water. And then remix it some. And what it's going to allow us to do is make sure we're getting all of it. It will probably be fine just dumping in there, but if fish do come into contact with undissolved salt crystals, it can be bad for them. I've never had problems before, but you're not supposed to do that, so it's always safest to make sure it's well mixed. And just by the color of this, you guys probably can't see it, but it's very cloudy, but not white. So that tells me that's probably mixed in pretty well. So if I put the rest of it in there, shouldn't be a problem. Alright, so I know you guys can't really see much, but I think I've got all the fish out of the buckets. So in this bag, I've got 7 Bumblebee Gobies, 3 baby balloon Mollies, and then 1 red black Platy. I'm not convinced I've gotten all the Bumblebee Gobies out of there because they're so tiny and so hard to miss on a dark background. So I'm going to really check and make sure. My light just died, but we'll keep on going. I'm going to check and really make sure I didn't miss any. Unfortunately, if I got all of them, that means I lost 3 or 4 in total, which sucks. But like I said, it's been real tough keeping these guys healthy. They've lost some weight, but I don't see any ick or anything like that on them, which is good, which makes sense because they're in brackish. But hopefully they make a quick recovery. And then over here, we've got the figure 8 puffer, and he's been doing okay. He's been easier to keep healthy than the other guys, actually, just because I can throw live food in there for him. You know, I don't have to worry about it polluting the water too much. His fins are a little bit raggedy. I don't think it's from water quality because I've been doing water changes. I think it's more just from being in tight spaces with the other fish, but we'll see. I think that they should all do really well, and the long-term plan here is going to be to have just the figure 8 puffer, like a horde of the Bumblebee Gobies, like another 5 or 6 of them at least, and then maybe 3 or 4 adult balloon Mollies, all male, just so I have a little bit of a cleanup crew. But yeah, I'll chime in either late tonight or tomorrow, whenever this tank's cleared up, and that'll be that. Alright guys, so it's the next day. I haven't lost any more fish, so I ended up finding 2 more Bumblebee Gobies in the bucket after I stopped filming yesterday. So I ended up with, I think, 8 or 9 gobies, the 3 baby Mollies, the 1 Platy, like 5 or 6 narrate snails, and the figure 8 puffer. I haven't seen any signs of disease other than on the puffer. The puffer does have like a cloudy eye. The other one's fine. He's eating, he's active, so I'm hoping it's just, you know, like an infection caused by the stress. I'm going to watch it though. I do have some erythromycin and kanamycin that I can treat with if he needs it. That said, I'm not super concerned, but it would be bad for him to lose an eye. So we'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully it's nothing we have to worry about, but we'll see what happens. As far as the decorations go, this is what I was going to say for a while. The plants have already got like a film of just crap on them, unfortunately, after 24 hours, but you know, I'm hoping that if I clean them up once a week or something, they'll stay presentable, at least for the time being, and I'm looking into maybe getting some nicer ones online. or maybe eventually doing like a mangrove tank or switching up the decoration so it looks okay without plants. But for now, this will work out. But yeah, everyone's doing well. You just saw meat, and hopefully this tank will be a little bit more stable now that we don't have so many fish in there. Because when we had all the adult mollies, the lemia, the guppies, all the platies, the puffers, it was a little bit too much for that 36. So hopefully in this 20 with the cut down stocking, we'll do just fine. And I don't know if you guys can see them, but these gobies, as they've grown, have become very brave, very personable. They're actually kind of the most outgoing fish in the tank. So if you've never had a brackish tank and you're considering it, Bumblebee Gobies are very basic. Everyone has tried them, but they are definitely rewarding. If you do a large group of them and get them small and feed them really well, they will be some of the most quirky little fish you'll ever have. But that's it for today. Just wanted to update you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. So see you guys next time.